Good, beautiful day, everybody. We're going to give everyone a chance to come on, as today is going to be somewhat intriguing. Hi, Drusilla and Amanda. Would you please give me a sound check? Let me know that my audio is coming through, please. I've had a couple of error messages that the browser keeps trying to disconnect the camera and microphone, which is not a surprise to me at this time. But just let me know in the comment section if audio is good. Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Drusilla. Wonderful. Well, welcome, everybody. This is Eclipse Day. And during our Patreon's only live event last night, Archangel Metatron gave us about 8 steps to follow to prepare for the eclipse, which will begin here where I am in about 2 hours, or just under 2 hours actually. And I want to read these 8 steps because I'm going to paraphrase. I'm going to paraphrase what was said last night by Metatron during our Patrons only live event. If you want to become a Patreon, you can go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes, and become a monthly member, where you can get 1 live event or 2 live events, depending upon what tier you're willing to devote to my Patreon page. You can get 1 private live event with a group, or 2 private live events a month with a group. Yes, so there's 8 primary steps that we were given last night. I'm gonna read them. I'll switch back and forth, and we'll do. One of the things he said, that, again, and I'm paraphrasing from what was said last night, but he said that in this galaxy, the galaxy we're in, not the spiral called the Milky Way galaxy, that's just a spiral of our galaxy. He said that our sun is a representation of what he called the grand central consciousness of our entire galaxy. That this grand central consciousness, which transmits and broadcasts living life force energy out to every sentient planet in the entire galaxy, and it also receives information back from all these planetary systems. There is a constant and with regular cycles of transmission and a reception of information from the grand central consciousness. That's the only words I can describe the way he presented it to me. And our sun does the same thing with our planet. Our sun transmits energy to the Earth, and it receives energy from the Earth. It transmits energy to the other planets. It receives energy from the other planets. That energy is in the form of an information exchange. That this solar eclipse, when the coronosphere is the only thing that's visible from the sun for that approximately 4 minutes, there's a different frequency or bandwidth of information that's going to be communicated to this particular swath of North America today. Eclipses happen all the time around the planet, and the information varies in degree and intensity with the nature and the quality of the eclipse, whether it's a full, a partial, a fraction of an eclipse. But different information is exchanged because the way the moon alters the way the sunlight comes to the planet during that time, because we're getting a different frequency of light from the shadow of the moon allows different frequency of energy. And again, I'm paraphrasing what was said by Metatron in the live event on Patreon last night. So I'm going to read over these things. Be patient with me while I do this, but these are things to prepare for the eclipse. And it doesn't matter, he said, it does not matter where you are on the planet if you're not here for the actual eclipse. People that you love, care for, and cherish, when you receive this energy, you can transmit it to them in whatever way you can do that. But we're going to give you some steps here that he gave us last night. So bear with me while I pull this up on this device, and I'm going to open this up. So steps that he gave us to prepare. He said, 1, to be consciously connected to the earth and the sun during this event. That is, if you can have your feet or your hands connected to the earth, if you want, you put your hands on a tree, which is immediately connected to the earth. It's called grounding. Put your feet on the bare ground, your bare feet on the ground if you can. But to be consciously connected to both the earth and the sun. So when you're connected to the earth, feel the energy of the sun. Let yourself feel and receive the energy of the sun. That was again, they're not necessarily in this order, but this is the 8 steps that I was able to pull off the replay of the Patreon's event. So that, and the Patreon event that I posted in part on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook groups is only a partial of that event. It's only the section where Metatron is transmitting the message to us. All other elements of the conversation that happened between myself and my patrons was edited out of that clip that you'll see available on my YouTube channel. Step number 2, he said, be consciously open and receptive to receiving the information that is meant for you. Be consciously open and receptive to receiving the information that is meant for you. 3, be of calm repose. So be in a place of open receptivity to receiving, but also be open and receptive to letting what you have to be offered up energetically back to that frequency, be part of that open receptive state. Number 4, he says you can have a quartz or an amethyst on hand as crystals retain energy and information. So if you have a quartz or an amethyst that you can keep with you during that event, crystals have an ability to retain energy over extremely long periods of time. Number 5, meditate for at least 5 minutes before the event. Number 6, put an intention into the water that you're going to drink during the eclipse. Put an intention. What the example that he said, did I write it down here? He said, put an intention into the water that you'll be drinking before, during, and after the eclipse, that the water will retain and hold all the information and frequencies you receive in your body. So when you drink that water, before you drink the water, give the water the suggestion, the intention that it will retain and hold all the information and frequencies you receive in your body. Number 7, he said, eat some fresh live food before the event. So you want to eat foods that are living, like oranges, apples, watermelon, papaya, things that are living food. You want to eat some fresh food before the live event happens. And he said perhaps one of the most important things, surrender all fear. He said there's so much propagation of fear around this event that it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. And again, I'm paraphrasing what was said last night. But it's quite true. There's been a lot of concern. These are energies. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be changed from one state into another. And a lot of people, I'm just remembering this now. So he also said this propagation of fear on the planet is designed to steal your energy. He said what happens when you go into a state of fear is the electrical field around your body collapses. In the state of fear, you go into withdrawal and you close your field down, so you've got nothing protecting your energy in the same fashion that if your field is expanded. He said that tends to happen, that your field, if it's collapsed in fear, will not retain energy. And the beings that are manipulating humanity right now will take that energy. They know how to harness people's energy. The movie The Matrix was not just a joke. When your energy field, when your emotional field is collapsed inward to the body, tight the body, you've got nothing to retain your energy in the same fashion. So keep that in mind. So be in a state that's open and excited and receptive to love, to joy, to possibilities, to new information. Now, as we are in Mazatlan, and one of the first places in North America where this eclipse is going to be happening, it'll be happening beginning here in less than 2 hours. And we're going to be going and getting prepared. So I want to take a few more minutes with you guys, and if you do have a couple of questions around this, but most importantly, please don't keep your mind centered in love. Keep your attention away from fear. Keep your attention centered in love, into the understanding that the intelligence of the sun and the intelligence of the great galactic central sun, because the galactic center has the corresponding version of what we call our sun in our solar system, and these things are givers of life. These elements, these radiant balls of consciousness, because they are alive. The sun is a living form of consciousness, just like the earth is a living form of consciousness, just like you are a living form of consciousness. These massive suns, our solar sun, our soul, and the central sun of the galaxy are transmitting and receiving information all the time. So be open to receiving the life, the love, the wisdom, the knowledge, the information that's meant for you. Be open and receptive to that as best as you can during this. Now we have, for those of my students that are registered, those of you that are registered for Masterclass 102, there will be some things happening during the class that we will, at regular intervals. For those of you that are in the tail end of the Eclipse, we'll be doing a couple of things for you guys. We recommend that if you're in the Masterclass, you go outside. If you can, sit on the ground, put your feet on the ground, but be in a position where you can expose yourself to the reception of that energy. For those of you that are in the Masterclass, the event on sensing energies today with Norma has been moved to Wednesday at the same time. Just a quick note to you guys. Now, I've already posted that up on the group wall, but some of you may not have gotten that. I want to make certain you get it here. So very exciting that we get to have our first Masterclass event during the energy of a solar eclipse, right? Very exciting stuff. Yeah, quite the hype, Don's saying. So you're hearing about these things about declaring states of emergency. They want you to be in fear. They don't want you to receive what you need to receive. They want you to be in a state of fear so they can take the energy that you won't hold. In a state of fear, you will not retain energy in the same way as you will in a state of open, excited receptivity. So be in that state of open receptivity in the way that you best can. Now, science has its own way of measuring what's actually happening in the shadow and the different frequencies of light and how many photons and the density and the speed of those photons. Science has its ways of measuring what it can measure. But what we're referring to is the immeasurable frequencies, the frequencies that are designed to sustain and maintain the essence of life, which is what the sun is doing all the time. It's maintaining life on this planet, generally speaking. It is the orchestrator of changes in the DNA of the various life forms on this planet. So do not get into the fear of something that gives us life all the time. Do not be in a state of fear. I'm saying hello to a bird that just came out and started opening its wings in front of me on this tree. So do not buy into the fear. Stay connected. Watch out for, there's so much stuff on TikTok and YouTube about all this nonsense. That's propagated by those who will take your energy. Be in a state of love and grace. Be open and receptive to the information that's designed and destined for you individually and also humanity collectively, as there is a component that will affect all of humanity. One of the things about quantum physics is it's revealed that there's a condition called quantum entanglement, in that where a particle is at one point of time and space and its twin particle is another point of time and space, that what happens to one affects the other. We live as a human species, as every life form, as every particle really does in consciousness, but we as a human species, we do affect each other, irrespective of where you are, whether you are in the streets in New Delhi, living in poverty, or you're living in a palace in Dubai. Your consciousness bears some degree of influence over the entire collective of human consciousness. And no matter where you are, whether you're in the castle or you're in the palace or whether you're in the streets, be in a state of love and grace as best as you can. It's not always easy, whether you're rich or poor. It can have your own difficulties in either one of those spectrums. But make a choice to consciously hold that vibration of love for yourself, and it will also affect humanity. Remember that what you consciously hold goes into your field, and that field transmits and receives information all the time. Wherever you are, wherever you're going, you're always transmitting and receiving information. Whether you're conscious of it or not is another consideration. But I'm honored and privileged and excited that we'll be holding our first masterclass during an event like this in an active eclipse zone. The entire human population will be influenced and affected in various degrees, depending upon the way people receive and transmit this energy incoming from today. Anyway, I'm very excited about it. It's going to be an amazing opportunity for those of you that understand the unified field of consciousness, that know full well that what you think and feel energetically affects everything and everyone around you. Then this is such a great opportunity to use this period of time, this period of, I think, 4 to 6 hours, where the sun offers us that energy, and we get a chance to receive and transmit that energy for ourselves and for humanity, because you came here with an intention to love humanity. So number 1, surrender all fear. I'm going to read that list again. I'm going to read it backwards, okay? I'm going to go from the front of the list to the back of the list. Hang on there. Just got to open this back up. There we are. So we're going to go backwards. When I first read the list today, we went from 1 to 8. So we're going to go from 8 to 1. Surrender all fear. Eat some fresh live food before the eclipse. Put an intention. So you want to make certain you're properly hydrated. Whether you're going to use water or freshly squeezed juices or anything like that, you want to put an intention into what you're drinking, that whatever you're drinking, that it will retain and hold all the information and frequencies you receive in your body. So preferably you're going to drink water, not alcohol. That's silly. You want to drink fresh water or good juice, and you want to make certain you put an intention into what you're drinking, that it's going to retain and hold all the information and frequencies you receive in your body. Next is meditate for at least 5 minutes before the event. Get your body relaxed and get it into a state of open receptivity. So when these energies come, you'll be most receptive to whatever that function of energy is going to be for you. Next, have a quartz. You can have a quartz or an amethyst crystal on hand to retain energy and information, as crystals are known to store energy for significantly longer periods of time than a physical brain can. Be of calm repose. Be calm, reposed, open and receptive to receiving those energies in the way that you can. Be consciously open and receptive to receiving the information meant for you. Be consciously open and receptive to receiving the information that is meant for you. Be consciously connected to the earth and the sun during the event. Be consciously connected to the earth and the sun during the event. That's again the general rules. You might in Mazatlan, I believe, where I am right now, the eclipse starts, and it doesn't matter where you are on the planet, it will affect the energy of the whole system in various degrees of intensity. Let me just pull this back up. Where are you? There we are. I'm just pulling it up now. So in Mazatlan, it makes landfall. Hang on. I believe it makes landfall in Mazatlan at 9:51 a.m. So that's about an hour and a half, 8, 7, 8, 9. So that's about 2 hours and a half from now is when it first makes landfall in Mazatlan. And then it's going to traverse the shadow of the moon, is going to traverse west as the sun, or traverse east as the sun traverses west, causing the shadow to move across the earth. But that shadow, as it passes through the sun, alters and changes the sun's frequencies of light and energy into a different, slightly different configuration than the sun normally transmits. When the sun is fully covered by the eclipse and all you see is the chronosphere, that function of the chronosphere, again in different degrees depending on where you are, that function of the chronosphere is what is transmitting the unique frequencies of energy and consciousness to those who are open and receptive to receiving it. So keep in mind that that's what that is. So yeah, it begins here in Mazatlan at 9:51 a.m. is when it first makes landfall. That's when the shadow begins to pass, the moon begins to pass in front of the sun and begins to cast its shadow upon the earth. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Someone says it's 30 minutes for them. Wonderful. So I hope you got the instructions. Please apply them as best you can. I'm just referring to North America, so it's going to hit the North American content at 9:51 a.m. Greetings to all you beautiful souls. Wonderful. I hope you guys are still hearing me. Jerusalem's asking, any advice from Spirit for those of us working and may not be able to go outside and ground and connect to the earth and sun during the eclipse? Absolutely. Absolutely. He said in the case where you are bound inside, follow as many of the steps as you can. Formulate a conscious intention that you can receive the vibrational frequencies, that you can still receive them. Be open and receptive to receiving them in the way that your mind and your body are able to under your existing circumstances. Remember, the body is conscious. You've got water molecules all throughout your body. So you can instruct the consciousness of the body to be open and receptive to receiving those frequencies from the energy of the solar system in the way that your body is able to receive them and retain them. You want to be clear to instruct the consciousness of the body to retain and receive the information in the way it can. Whether you're indoors, if you can't get outdoors, then get clear on that intention. Find out what time the eclipse begins in your area and tell the consciousness of the body at this time, at exactly 9:51 a.m., you're going to begin to receive and retain the information being transmitted down to my body at this time in a way that I will be able to utilize it. So that's the simple answer to that, Jerusalem. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I got that. Thank you. We're going to go here. Oh, you're very welcome. I hope this has been helpful for everybody. Yeah, it is it's funny that I'm in Mazatlan. We had no idea about the eclipse. We had no idea about the so-called devil's gate to hell. All this stuff that we found out when we got down here was been very interesting. We are always guided to where we need to be. We really are. When we get into that place of alignment with your function of love, you will always be guided. And if you can surrender the function of fear from your mind and body, very different things will begin to happen to you as you learn to surrender. You learn to surrender your fear, surrender judgment, surrender the negative vibrational emotions that are being bombarded into the hearts and minds of people all over the world right now. You must become free of that. Sorry, I'm just getting information. Okay, thank you so much. So we're going to go here and take a few questions today. Hi, good morning. Good morning, beautiful soul. Hi. We got that. We'll take a few questions before I have to start going and making preparations. I took the day off from work for the eclipse. Wonderful, good for you. I hope these instructions, for those of you that want to see the instructions, I put a post on my TikTok channel that has the instructions there. You can go to my TikTok channel and the actual printout of the 8 things that he gave us. And again, that may not, there were so many things that he said to us last night during the live event on Patreon that I could only paraphrase here. I couldn't memorize everything that was said in that 30-minute transmission that he gave us during the Patrons live event last night. Thank you. Yeah, you want to release the anxiety, darling. Hi. Yeah, just one of the ways to release your anxiety is to take a deep breath, like really take a slow deep breath and give your body permission to relax, because the body is not who you are, but the body is a separate, unique individual that you just happen to be interfaced with while you're in this physical dimension. And the body gets anxious whenever it's faced with something that it does not comprehend or outside of its scope of experience. So you can just turn to the body, breathe slowly and deeply, and say to the body, relax, be still, be calm, be peaceful. I am with you. I will take care of you. There's structures of information you can give to your mind and body that will change their emotional energy. In your case, beautiful soul, you just want to simply breathe slowly and deeply and say, you're perfectly safe. I am with you. I will manage what is happening. You can consciously and deliberately and intentionally do that with your body. It's designed to follow your instructions. When is this? Again, it begins at 9:51 a.m. here in Mazatlan, and we'll continue, I believe, for 3 or 4 hours across North America. Remember, there's so much stuff on the internet right now to cause you to be afraid. So, oh wow, that looks like angel wings out there. It causes you to get surrender into fear. Do not buy into the fear about this event. Stop it. Turn it off. Anytime you see somebody trying to tell you, be afraid of the eclipse, stop it. This is a beautiful and wonderful opportunity for you to receive information and energy from the galactic central consciousness into your mind and body system that will allow you to shift or change things in your life that you may not have been able to shift or change with the existing information that you've acquired from this physical world. Right? So you want to be able to do that. Have no fear. And if you have fear, love it. If you have fear, give your fear love. It will change it. Hi there. Good to see you, Judy. Wonderful. I'm glad you made it here. So yeah, those of you that want to see the full 8 instructions, I'll read them one more time before I finish today. Iris asking, do I have parasites in my gut? A lot of people have parasites in their gut. A lot of people they're force feeding a lot of parasitic material in the food supply right now. So you want to, there's different ways you can counter parasites. Oil of oregano. They don't like oil of oregano very much, parasites. A few drops of oil of oregano in a glass of water and drink that once a day. There's fenbendazole, there's ivermectin. There are other various herbs that you can take that will dissuade or discourage parasites from inhabiting your body and your muscle system, because a lot of people now have parasites systemically throughout their body. And again, I've got to be careful what I say here, because the powers that be do not want humans to be afraid and free. They want you to be afraid. They can keep harvesting your money and your friends and your family of their energy. Amanda's asking, hello William, my son is sick with a fever and cold. I want him to be able to be outside with me today. Do I just ask him? Well, that's one way. You can tell him his body. His body is restoring itself to a state of vitality, which is what happens when your body gets a fever. It's naturally going into the process of restoring health. That's the function of a fever. The fever is a function of restoring health to the body. It's not a function of problem. It's the body taking the action it's been able to take for billions of years in correcting conditions within itself. So you want to keep him warmly wrapped up. This is my advice now. Keep him warmly wrapped up. Bring him outside and have him sit on your lap and have a wonderful time. Let him experience it as best he can. Right? Keep him warm. Keep his head covered. More warmth, again, will promote the body having a more effective response. But keep in mind that the body has its natural and normal way of dealing with conditions that are invasive to itself. But yeah, let him know that that the fever is a function of his body making itself healthy. And that's true. That's what a fever is, the function of the body trying to make itself healthy. That's exactly what it is. Remember that. People like to say, oh, I've got a fever, it's bad. No, a fever is good. It's the body going into a mode of correction and repair. Last few days, whooshing sound in my head. Yes, I had all day yesterday. I had this this noiseless noise in my ear was the funniest thing. I could hear a sound, but it wasn't a sound. I don't know how to describe it. It was a noiseless noise. And I had that going on all day. And again, I'm very excited because we're getting really close to that time here. And it looks like the skies are in the process of clearing where we are, which is another good thing. Thank you. Am I taking questions? Yes, I will take a couple of questions today. We still have about another 10 or 15 minutes, and then I have to get going. Thank you. Love my hair color? I'm a barber. I bet you do. A lot of people say that about my hair color. That silver look. Yeah, it's hard to come by. Many lifetimes of experience produced what you see before you. Many lifetimes of experience, including this lifetime, have produced what you see before you as a physical representation of my consciousness. Thank you. Hi guys. Yeah, check the poster on TikTok. It was my most recent post. How long does this feeling of wanting to hibernate last? Again, a lot of people, because there's been so much fear being propagated, they're transmitting frequencies in the sky with chemicals. Remember, fear is a state the body naturally goes into when something's perceived outside of what it is familiar with. So that feeling of hibernation is not you, it's the body reacting to qualities of energy or information that are unfamiliar to it. Even if you got a guardian angel, and what you do, you have a guardian angel near you, and your body might perceive the energy of that guardian angel as something it doesn't know, so it's going to get anxious. But the anxiousness is not you. It's something based in the body and its relationship with the mind, or things that the body perceives in the environment. Quite simply, let's say somebody makes a loud noise right now, your body will jump because the body reacts to anything outside of what it's familiar with. Even if you have thoughts, scary and fearful thoughts in your mind, your body will react to your mind as if it's the environment. So people will think thoughts in their mind or be given thoughts to think in their mind, and the body will react to those as if it's something outside of itself. Keep that in mind, because all of this information about the eclipse and all this information about the bad things that are supposedly going on the planet right now, they will transmit those things to you to keep you in a state of fear, as was said earlier in this live event today, that keeping you in fear allows them to steal your energy. So you want to go into a state of love and grace. We come to our Saturday show where you can learn the fundamental principles of meditation. Again, or book a one-on-one reading with me. If you're dealing with a lot of anxiety, book a one-on-one reading with me. Go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com. Book a reading with me. I can assure you, your guides, your angels, and the other beings that work with me will give you the simplest and easiest ways to transform the energy that you're calling anxiousness from anxiousness into a very different and more powerful positive energy. Because your emotions can't be created or destroyed. They can only be changed from one state to another. But your purpose here is not to be afraid or to be suffered. Most people have been trained or conditioned to be afraid and suffering by watching television, by watching news, by watching violent interactions between humans. People have been conditioned into fear, and that's not your natural state. Love is your natural state as a soul. Thank you so much. Good question. Yes, thank you, Con, for doing that for Amanda. Transmitting healing to Amanda and her son. That's wonderful. 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 Hi, guys. I only have a couple more minutes, and then I got about 5 more minutes. Yeah, garlic and pumpkin seeds. That's another really good. Garlic and pumpkin seeds. Papaya seeds are also good for dealing with parasites, which are very natural, healthy things. Garlic seeds, pumpkin seeds, papaya seeds will also discourage. Pepper's another thing that parasites don't like in the body. Right? But anything you want to make your body toxic to parasites but healthy to you. Hi. Somebody saying, my son never complains, but they said their bodies have been hurting since yesterday. I don't know what that means. Again, there's a concerted effort to prevent many humans from re-accessing your power of who you are as a spiritual entity. They use anything they can do to inspire or install fear in the minds of human beings, restricts and limits those humans that are in fear from being able to function creatively. And contrary, in a state of fear, your function of reason is suspended. In a state of fear, your function of inductive, objective reasoning is inhibited. So they put TV shows and they create movies that install and instill fear in people. They create diseases, and they've created diseases. They put chemicals and toxins in the food and in the sky that all place your body in a condition of survival. And if you're in a state of survival, you can't think or reason, so they can control and manage people that cannot think and reason. And that's why the massive propagation of fear on the planet. So for those of you that know how to release and liberate fear from your body, we just started our Masterclass 102 on Saturday. And people are going to learn in the next 3 weeks how to release, transform, and transmute old negative emotions in your body that were given to you since you were a child, since you were born. The world was giving you information, most of which you aren't even conscious of anymore, you're just reacting to it. But as long as you're kept in a state of fear, you can be controlled and manipulated. And I better not say that, or although they'll probably mute this video at the very least. I don't want them to do that because this is very good information. Thank you so much. Soul Spa is asking, does Archangel Metatron have a message for me today about my healing career? Yes, get more focused and intense in your love towards this. Be more focused and intense towards your love in this. That doesn't mean that you're intense, but that the intensity of the vibration of love is definitively felt within you and radiated from you. The function of love results in all healing. The function of your love results in all healing. Wow, I like that one. It's a good one. Hi. William, from the last time we talked online, I cried like a baby for a day and then I got sick. Why? This is a great question. When you have a release like that, remember, you store emotions and memories in your body. You store good emotions and not so good emotions in your body. What happened for you the other day is you released a lot of pain and anger that had been stored in the body for a long, long time. So now it's not trapped in the body, it's now being released in the body. So now you've got the runny nose, you got that, all that stuff. It's the body releasing toxins. Please make certain that you stay properly hydrated. If you can, drink lots of living, live, fresh squeezed juices, lots of living food. Avoid meats, avoid things that are going to stress the body, dairy, cheeses. Avoid things that are going to create more mucus in the body. You want to eat things that are going to give the body resources that are living and vital and alive. So you're going through a big release right now of these old emotions now being released, because I know you had the same thing happen to you at regular intervals during your childhood, and that release you had was connected to some of those energies. Again, a lot of people, when you go through a release, when you start to release old emotions from the body, you will go through a process of your body will go through it the way your body goes through it, but your body will go through the reverse of what happened. As a child, I used to get repeatedly sick, fevers, flus, sore throats, and I know I was living in a very toxic and aggressive and destructive environment. And so the body reacted to that and stored the anger and the pain that was being projected into the environment by the people around me. When I began to go through the release process, the reverse happened. And all those old emotions began to resurface and be released from the body. Again, living live food. You want to eat as much living and live food as you possibly can. Stay really well hydrated with good clean spring water or distilled water that's been remineralized. You want to give the body, because the body can only work with what it has. It's your responsibility to give it the additional things like living foods, proper hydration, to give it the resources that it can use because water is a key element for the body using to flush toxins out of the body. Living live juices and living live foods put life into the body. So like oranges, apples, watermelon, grapefruits, fresh vegetables, fresh greens, anything that's living live food that's good quality, that's good organic food preferably, will add life to the body. Just as freshly squeezed juice will add life to your body. Keep that in mind. There's a difference between food that's living and food that's not living. Congratulations, by the way. You'll find that once you pass through this, a whole range of things will change for you. Thank you for subscribing to my TikTok channel. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Ringing in the right ear. I have a calling to heal my family my family line, spirit. See this, or do they want me to detour? You can do this, AJ, but just formulate the intention for 10 minutes every day. 10 minutes of time can have a very different impact than you think, but 10 minutes a day, I'm being told to tell you, 10 minutes a day. Transmit this vibration of love to your entire family system. Transmit the love that you have to your entire family system. You do not have to encounter or call them up and say, I love you. You could do that if you want to, but to clearly and intentionally feel the love that you feel for them and transmit that love to each family member and let that energy do the work that it knows how to do. Love does what love does, right? Got time for 2 more questions, guys, and then we've got to start getting prepared here. Animo's asking this question on YouTube. Who and what are responsible for the size and placement of the Earth's moon in order to make the eclipse possible, and why? Thanks and enjoy the event, everyone. This is a very interesting question, and I've been given an answer on that on several occasions when I've queried, and the answer's always been the same. That the intelligent humanoids that designed the structure of this particular moon understood that it could act as a protective device for this physical planet in a way that would afford the longest period of life being sustained consistently on this particular planetary system. The origins of these humanoids is not to be disclosed. That's what I'm being told. It's not to be disclosed. But it was certainly not an accident. There are no accidents in creation, is there? Thank you so much for that, Animo. That came out of left field. Yeah. Hydrochloroquine is another good way of dealing with those things. A couple of days ago, a ball of white light moved under my car. What was that? You got a guardian angel trying to manifest themselves to you directly. I'm feeling blessed. I know you guys are blessed too. All of you. Okay, guys, I need to go and start getting preparations for today. Do I believe Jesus Christ will return soon, or won't know when? He's already here on the planet. He's already on the planet. Not in the physical body he was in before, but he's already on the planet. He came into another form, right? Because he doesn't want to be so obvious this time. And he doesn't have the same name, but it is the same soul. Just like Shirdi Sai Baba and Satya Sai Baba, there's a process of reincarnation there. And there have been many masters that have deliberately and intentionally reincarnated to reintroduce key principles back into the human collective unconsciousness. So he's already here. He is here. That's why all the darkness is starting to be revealed now, folks. Have you noticed? All the darkness is being revealed. The dark evil that's being done to humanity is going to come tumbling down. And it's in that process right now. You're seeing the first few cracks. But all the way from the highest echelons of those who are propagating suffering against humanity and other life forms on this planet, the interdimensional life forms that are being messed around with as well. The darkness that's been doing that is about to crumble like a house of cards, and you're just beginning to see the beginning of that. They'll eat their own, by the way. These dark beings will eat their own. Thank you. For those of you that are leaving wonderful suggestions for others to follow, like keeping your body alkaline, things like that, how to overcome depression. Book a reading with me. Book a reading with me, and you'll connect your guides and your angels, the ascended beings that want to work with you, and they'll give you experiences and instruction on what to do to heal that. Because depression is not who you are. Depression is emotions you hold in your body because of past experiences that you went through that were very hurtful and uncomfortable and painful. Depression is old emotions about the past that you're holding in your body. Anxiety is emotions you're holding in your body about what might happen in the future because of your past. Really simple. Anxiety is about the future. Depression is about the past. What often they teach people to do is how to be in the present moment, because when you're in the present moment, you're free from the past. You're not tied to the future anymore. You're then in the realm of creation in the present moment. Thank you so much for that question. Wonderful. Now, I think I'm going to go over this list one more time for those of you that have just joined us. So these are a list of 8 things you can do to prepare for the eclipse where you are. Let's bring you up here. There we are. Turn that. So I'm going to read them from top to bottom now. And these are considerations given to me by, given to us by Archangel Metatron last night. 1, to be consciously connected to the earth and the sun during the event. Now, somebody asked the question, what if I can't be outside during the event? Then intentionally decide that in whatever way you can receive the energy that's for you, you will receive it. Tell your body that it will receive the energy it needs to receive, even if you're indoors. 2, be consciously open and receptive to receiving the information meant for you. Number 3, be of calm repose, open and receptive to receiving this energy. Thank you so much for that. Have a quartz or an amethyst on hand, as crystals retain energy and information. So you can have that crystal with you. It'll retain information also. And you can pull that information out of that crystal anytime you like, as it will continue to retain it. Meditate for at least 5 minutes before the event. Put an intention into the water that you drink, or the water juice that you drink. Put an intention into it that it will retain and hold all information and frequencies you receive in your body. So let's say, for example, I'm about to drink this water, and I say to this water, you are to hold and retain all the frequencies and information for me. That you will hold and retain all those frequencies. And then you drink your water. And you put that intention in, so those water molecules have been given an instruction, just like the water molecules in my hand get the instruction to move the fingers around. Water molecules are reacting and responding, right? 7, eat some fresh live food before the event begins. And number 8, surrender all fear. Surrender it. You can surrender your fear with love and grace. Like if you're feeling afraid or anxious or even depressed, you can just say, I'm with you, I love you, I will take care of you. Just consciously and deliberately do that. Like, do not attack your fear. Surrender it with love. Like, give it love and it'll change it. Again, I'll be live again tomorrow evening on TikTok exclusively, and we will do a breakdown. And then on Wednesday, we'll do a breakdown on shortcuts for your soul on Wednesday and get some feedback on what everybody's experienced. How do you know you've been manipulated? You know you've been manipulated if your life is not the way you want it to be. You know you've been manipulated if your life is not the way you'd enjoy it being. Oh, hang on. Someone trying to very diligently and insistently give me a message here. Okay, I'll have to deal with that afterwards. Sorry about that, Kevin. Well, Kevin's asking me on Tidio, and I'm going to answer this question because it's really important. Dear William, how do we heal our suffering? We become vulnerable and allow others to enter, but continue to get hurt. It's not about allowing others to enter your consciousness. You need to change the frequency of your energy. A statement like feeling only love can enter the space, only love can leave this space. this is not, so many of you have been trained into fear. Understand, you've been trained into fear by the TV shows, the movies, the displays of violence and competition and aggression. That a lot of people say, oh, it's good for men to be this way. No, it's not good to be violent. That's an old model of humanity. But it's important to be in a state that is strong and empowering, but a function of love, not a function of aggression, which is a function of fear. If you're out to hurt somebody, that's a function of fear. Violence is a function of fear. Any form of violence, yelling at somebody, is a function of fear. But you want to get your awareness, your mind and body to a place where they're open and receptive to love. Only love can enter your space. Only love can leave your space. Again, join me. Book a reading with me, Kevin. If you want to get through that really quickly, go book a reading with me. Half-hour, 1-hour session. And we'll bring your guides, your angels, and other beings that want to communicate to you. And we'll give you very specific ways that you can transform the energy of fear in your body from one state into another. Because emotions can't be created or destroyed. They can only be changed from one state to another. Thank you, Kevin. Again, everybody, how you know? Yeah, we already got that. I know I'd love to stay with you guys longer, but I've got to get prepared. It's got just under 8, 9. Yeah, you got just under 2 hours to get ready. I've got much to do before then. Astral travel during sleep, when spirit comes back and your body wakes up too quickly, paralysis. Yeah, sometimes that can happen. More often than not, your body will wake up with a jolt, but you can tell your body before you go to sleep, you can tell your body that it's perfectly safe at all times. Only love can enter your space. Only love can leave your space. You can communicate that into the consciousness of your body before you go to sleep each night. Only love can enter this space. Only love can leave this space. The consciousness of the body will retain and remember that information. Just like it's retained how to walk, how to talk, how to drive a car, how to write, how to read. Your body's retained information that's been taught to retain. You want to teach your body that when you put it to sleep at night, only love enters your space, only love leaves your space. You want to teach that, program that into your body. Great question. So guys, listen, I'm going to wish you a wonderful and a joyful day. Yeah, somebody's saying meat can get rid of mucus. Some meat can if it's the right meat. Vegetables give me mucus in my experience. Again, there are different body types. There are carnivore body types. There are vegetarian body types. There are omnivorous body types in the human kingdom. And it's not a one-size-fits-all. Your body that you're in right now has a unique signature of its own. No two bodies are the same. That's why they couldn't create a disease that would kill everybody. Because everyone's body has a slightly different chemistry. And so they can't create let's create one thing to kill all people. They can't do it because the intelligence in your body is omniscient. Anyway, that's very true. Your body may be predominantly carnivorous. Other people's bodies might be predominantly vegetable based. Others might be fruit based. Others might be omnivorous based. There are very simple structures for the human body as to what your body is. And you get to know what it is by your experience. So everybody, have yourselves a great day. Thank you so much for contributing to the live event. Thank you for your support. Thank you. There's way too many questions for me to get to. I would love to. If you have questions that were not answered here, go to my Linktree link on my bio or my Linktree link below any of my YouTube videos and click on Linktree and click tip jar and ask a question by donation, or go book a reading with me on my website, williammichaelforbes.com. Book a reading, half-hour, 1-hour reading. That will certainly be life-changing, as it has been. Check out some of the testimonials on my Facebook business page or on my website. There are hundreds of testimonials from people that have experienced very wonderful things. Anyway, have yourselves a wonderful and joyful day. And remember, use this energy, receive this energy with love and grace. I want to wish you all much love. And remember, today is a brand new day, and now is a brand new moment. And that is always true. Bye, everybody.